So quite a few things have been reopening lately. I bet your life feels a bit better because of it, right? Finally, we can get back a bit of what we had before, right? We knew we wanted back, and whilst we've been locked up, we've been, you've been dreaming of being back in that pub garden in the sun with your friends and family, or perhaps you've been wishing you could go back to your favourite restaurant with your partner you always used to love to go to at the weekends, whatever. It just helped you relax, you love the food, helped you de-stress from the week. Finally, a bit of that is back. We knew what we were missing, and we wanted it back. Why? Because it makes life better. Now follow me for a minute here, okay? Because you could only want those things back if you'd had them before, right? You wouldn't have missed them if you'd never experienced them before. This isn't groundbreaking stuff, not rocket science, it's just common sense, right? So in other words, if you'd never experienced, a pub garden in the sun with your friends and family, you'd never found that favourite restaurant you've been to, you wouldn't have missed it the past 3 months, right? You never knew it to miss it. That makes sense. And there was a time when you first discovered all those things, when you first went to the pub garden sun, you first found that shop with all your favourite designs in, right? And you might say that your life wasn't as good until you discovered it. Or in other words, you had been missing out on something your entire life without ever realising it. All I want to ask you right now is, what if that is still true? What if you've been missing out on something for years without ever realising it because you'd never known it? You never knew it to miss it. Because look, here's the thing. I don't think you right now watching this, and me actually, I don't think we've come to the end of finding good new things for our lives. Right? We haven't stopped discovering good new things. So therefore, you could be missing out on something great, which could change your life dramatically. And here's something I think can. I think you've been missing Jesus in your life. There's an old Oxford professor, he's called C.S. Lewis. You probably recognise the name. He's a guy who wrote Narnia. And whilst he was a professor at Oxford, he realised he'd been missing Jesus. And he discovered who he was, and he became a Christian. And he went on to say that the difference between a life knowing God and a life that doesn't is like a child who only plays in mud slop because they've never heard of a beach. Okay, imagine this, right? Imagine a child who has never heard of a beach in their entire lives, can't imagine it, doesn't know what it looks like. So every day they go and play in muddy puddles, sloppy mud, and they go and build, castles in this mud, but the creation can't be what they imagine it, can't be detailed, it just slops over, dissolves in the mud. It's a cold puddle, it's not very appealing to look at, right? And it's also coarse, it's mud mixed in with bits of plastic and stone, and it grates against their skin. But they love it because it's all they've known. And it is good fun, right? But here's the thing, a muddy, sloppy puddle is nowhere near as good as a beach. And all the while they were playing in this muddy puddle, while just down the road, over the little hill, there's an incredible beach. But you see, they'd never taken the time to go look and discover if there's anything more than this. Oh, but imagine, right? Just imagine how good it would be when they first step over that hill and see the beach for the first time. We're not even saying they've got on the beach yet. Just when they look at it, imagine the excitement of the senses it would bring. The colours of the ocean, of the golden sand, of the sun beating down onto the sand and onto them, the warmth they'd get, the hearing of the waves crashing would just relax them and soothe them like they've never felt before. Oh, when they first stand on that sand, right? The softness between their toes. It would feel so good. And then the possibilities open to them on the beach, far better than that muddy puddle, right? The creations that they build can be more detailed. They'll last longer, not like a lot longer, but they'll last longer. It's so much better in every way, right? But they'd missed out on this for years because they never knew it. They didn't know it to miss it. I wonder, have you been missing out on something because you've never known it? A life with Jesus, knowing Him, is one that is changed dramatically for the better. And look, the difference he makes in your life, the experience to the senses he brings, the possibilities he opens, the freedom he gives you, and the future you have with him are as great a difference, actually it's far greater a difference, right, than going from a muddy puddle to an incredible beach. Look, Jesus wants you to know life and life to the full. That's what he says. He said, I've come so that you may know life and life to the full. I wonder, like C.S. Lewis, have you been missing out on something for years because you never knew it was there? You never knew it to miss it. But we knew what we were missing, right? With these pub gardens, these restaurants and shops being gone. But there was a moment when you first discovered them, and there can be a moment when you first discover Jesus. Why not come and step onto the beach and know him?